Hey, good morning folks. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be planting some vegetables out here in our plastic. You can see we got the water wheel hooked up, and then actually decided to be, or try to be a real farmer today, so I'm wearing my bib overalls. Actually, me and Corey was talking about these a while back, and I decided to buy a pair, and actually, oddly enough, I really like them. They're pretty comfortable. So here's what we've got going on for today. We've got to get some more tomatoes planted, so we're going to plant about a couple rows of tomatoes here, some squash and zucchini. It is a little wet down there on that lower end, but we need to get this done. So they're calling for rain this weekend, and I actually got to go out of town for work next week, so I'm leaving Sunday, and I won't be back probably till Wednesday or Thursday morning. So we want to try to get this planted while we can, and also I need to pick some strawberries because we got strawberries out there that are ready to go. So we're gonna take the tractor up there, get some water and fertilize in it, and then get at it. Here's all our plants. Brought them up from inside the house, brought them up to the greenhouse to get a little natural sunlight. And as you can see, they're pretty much well ready to plant, except our watermelons and cantaloupe. That's what we have down here. They'll probably be ready sometime next week. But we're going to go ahead and load up our peppers, because that's what we're going to be planting first, so we can change the water wheel out, because we got to go back to just the single wheel on that.
They're huge.
There are some Alright, filling up with some water. We ended up having to pull the peppers out of these containers because they don't want to come out very easy, so it makes it a lot easier to transplant if we've got them out. Of course, I had to buy these plants because our peppers did not germinate, but these are a little bit root bound. They're not terrible, but it just makes it harder to get them out of the little containers. So if we take them out now, we can plant them a lot easier. If you ever get a chance, you should get you one of those autonomous tractors. Come in pretty handy. Well, we got everything planted that we're going to plant today. Got some squash, zucchini. Still got a few peppers to plant down the other end. We ran out, and then we got all our tomatoes planted. So going to move on to picking strawberries. It actually took a little bit less time than I expected, so if we can get these strawberries picked in time, still got time to go to the farmer's market this afternoon. So if we have enough berries. There's not a whole lot out here, but we might get a flat. I'm hoping for anyway. Oh, let's look at this guy. He's not ripe all the way, but that's still good eating. These berries are really sweet, and I mean, you don't need sugar or anything on them, so really happy with how they turned out. I mean, I hope they produce more. I don't know if you can probably see this. There's some yellowing on the leaves, and I've noticed some of them are starting to green back up, but not really sure what's causing that. I've had some people tell me it's potassium deficiency. I know we've been putting on plenty of nitrogen. Somebody said it's too much water, so probably when I have to get a tissue sample and send it off and see what's actually going on. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and pick some berries. Oh my God, we'll need it a day or two. I think there's more out here than I expected.
Oh, you missed it.
No, well, I might have missed that one, but.
That one was on it.
Yep.
Damn, 3 ingredients. Boom, you're done.
I need to pay more better attention to what I'm doing, don't I? Well, not a super big haul. Maybe got a few quarts. I don't know how much Corey's got over there. Yeah, so
I got 3 quarts.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's our first harvesting on them, so hopefully we'll get a lot more. All right, so yesterday we got everything planted that we wanted to. We got the strawberries picked. Corey is actually up there right now picking the strawberries again. So, I mean, we got everything that was ready yesterday, and it's like overnight there's more strawberries. So, again, we're new to producing strawberries. Maybe that's just how strawberries are. I mean, I know for squash, zucchini, and stuff like that, you have to pick it every day or it just gets humongous. But right now, I've got the old fancy cultivator on the back of the tractor because, I don't know, you probably can't see that, but there's a pretty big storm, looks like, front that's moving in. What I've got to do here is that since we put our plastic a little bit closer together this year, the rows are a little bit closer, I've got to move these cultivator units to be more in line behind the tire of the tractor. So as you can see, both sides kind of stick out just a little bit. I believe the guy that I bought this from, there used to be a unit here as well, and I believe the gentleman cultivated tobacco with it. So it's nothing fancy. It's in pretty rough shape, to be honest. I've got some plans for this to make it a little nicer, but right now we need to get on the ball. So I'm just gonna spray a little PB blaster on these bolts, loosen them up, scoot them in a little bit, and hopefully it's not going to give me much trouble, because again, there's rain coming in, so, which I'm thankful for. I feel like it's spitting rain right now, but we need some rain, but hopefully I can get this done first. It always got to be one. All right, so got it moved in. Looks pretty good, or as good as it's going to get for now, because I may get up there and it's not set right, but it's starting to rain, so we need to hurry. I might put you guys inside for a minute so you don't get wet. I'm sure you don't want to get wet. You really don't want to ruin this $500 camper. Well, we got this upper portion of the field cultivated, and one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to get it cultivated is when we're coming in here and laying plastic, the plastic layer kind of leaves these ridges down the rows, and then water likes to set, as you can kind of maybe see here in this, wants to set in those trenches. So by using the cultivator, it kind of mellows those ridges out, and so water's not going to pull as bad on one side or the other. It still may pull sometimes in the middle of the bulk of the row, but just kind of wanted to mellow those out. As well, there are a few little weeds coming. You'll see them right along the edge there. So that's probably something else we're going to have to address here shortly. The main thing about weed control is you got to stay on top of it, and it's a really hard job to do. You know, eventually, as bad as I hate to see it, probably some of this is going to get overgrown with weeds at some point this year. Happens every year, no matter how hard we try to stay on top of it. But right now things are looking pretty good. So we did have some extra pepper plants, and I went ahead and Corey went down through there, and any spot where a plant had died or didn't take very well, we went ahead and replanted it. I did buy an extra flat of tomatoes yesterday when I got the pepper plants to finish out the plastic. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing on the tomatoes, and then probably turn the irrigation on and let it run for a little bit, just to make sure those new plants get some water. Every once in a while you'll have a guy like that who he's not going to make it. He got broke at some point, so we'll have to put a new plant in there. And I don't think there's a lot missing, but we want to, you know, have as close to as 100% stand as possible as you can get. You know, you're never going to have 100% stand. Sometimes plants just die for, you know, whatever reason. We get deer tracks out here all the time. Sometimes they might get stepped on. Who knows? But I got that extra flat, so we're going to go ahead and try to transplant those by hand. Not sure if we talked about this or not yet, but we planted some peach trees. Now we do have about 12 more peach trees to plant. Not 100% sure where we want to plant them yet. They're not as big as these, and we wanted to go ahead and get these planted as soon as we could. If you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, you would have seen the pictures and stuff when we did that. So if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and follow us there too. So what I'm doing now is there may be more missing out here than I anticipated. I think I got a flat there, and there's like 48 on that flat. Probably going to end up using all of that. These two rows over here look great. This row here looks pretty good too. There's just a few more that I have in here. This row here is the biggest problem. Not here so much as like down on that other end, but there is like a low spot, and water likes to hang out there a lot. So I'm not sure if I'm going to replant those or not, because they're probably just going to drown out and not produce anyway. But basically what we're doing here is I just pull out the old guy, and these plants are kind of tall, but you know, really don't be afraid to plant something like this. Just make sure your holes are really deep, as deep as you can get it, because if you see these like hairs and stuff that's on the stem, these will actually take root if they're covered up. So if you cover them up good and deep, they'll be just fine. But I'll take this down here. It's about as far as I can get it. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but see how deep that is? I mean, it's going to cover the stem up to about right here. So we'll just reach in there, grab some dirt from around, and that's pretty much all that. All right, just stepped in here in greenhouse number 1. Looks like our tomatoes are growing nicely, getting some blooms on them. And it's time to put our second trellis on our tomatoes. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So that's pretty much what we're going to wrap this video up, folks. It's been going on now for the past couple days, I think, so I'm pretty sure we've got enough content for a video. If not, it might be a little bit of a shorter one, but we do appreciate you guys watching. If you would, please hit that like and subscribe button, and if there's something you'd like to learn more about on the farm, you know, comment down below. We'd be happy to try to make it happen for you, or answer any questions that you might have. So I think it's Friday. Yeah, today's Friday, so hope you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.